Hello, welcome again to this for second channel. We are here again with Ace Attorney, and we are my sis, your sis. Go ahead, Swan. I heard Mia's voice. I guess Phoenix, you should check for concussion. It could be concussion, man. It could be. So then she's still alive inside your heart. Oh my God! It's not. I don't really have an argument today. You can still channel her. Nicky boy! Oh, Miss Delight. Is Ruta detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at the Law Detailer that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. Need to find some solid proof. It's gonna happen sooner or later. Okay, there's the thing that really confuses me right now. So we know that there is a picture of Master Mask, right? And this picture is in that hour. So someone must be to that precise date there. So if neither the Master Mask and Atme were there, because Master Mask was in the KB security, plus the other dude was there, who the hell was that picture from? So that was my first problem. So it was like, oh, they already solved the they already solved the case. Okay. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Duke Atme, please take the stand. Well, how do you do, sir lawyer? Never thought to see you acting so recklessly. Don't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when he will have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Master Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as the masked. Indeed, it's really child play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Master Mask. Of course. Very well then, Luke Atme. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th, at 1 AM, Kane Bullard was murdered. Where are you at the time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. And thank you. Alright, Mr. Atme, the night of the murder, speak. A sip of coffee. I have yogurt with me, so we're gonna sip yogurt every time Godo's gonna sip his coffee. Okay, we're all ears. As you wish, Mr. Prosecutor. Yeah, it's liquid yogurt. I was still into Earl as Master Mask, just as announced, Gold. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. Photograph contains no words, but in this case one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. Seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme will still have you to your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he's a fool. Sound like, I think he's trying to say that you are full of it, Nick. Sounds like won't come. The only thing that is full of it is his alibi, Maya. So... I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right, that was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent a calling card to Lord Taylor 10 days before the heist. That will mean you sent out a card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed, there was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? If the urn was stolen from Lord Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he had no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It's kinda odd. About the camera that took this photograph. Ah, come on now, it's all too clear what you're thinking. You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lodi Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lodi Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there is no way that picture could have been altered. Okay, I see. It looks like it's better find something else that could be suspicious. But his alibi is false. Has to be. We couldn't kill Mr. Bulla at KB security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either Master Mask in the photo is fake, or the photo itself is. So by photograph you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That is the very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now. Lord Taylor provided the camera, there is no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think along as hard about that night. The basement warehouse and this picture was supposedly captured. It's got to be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? Yes. Are you implying that this picture is fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. I took a look around the basement warehouse the night before the theft took place, and there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, let's start what you have to say. Could be? Take that! What is this blood stain? No, it's not. Blood? No, this case is getting interesting. No, exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. A peach colored at that. From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going to his white tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is that when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright, why are you supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stain? You mean Amy? The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, the golden statue just happened to arrive from the non-time training hall. I realized that the statue will be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where I first saw it. I myself was there the night of the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. This picture was totally taken on that night and the statue should have been there. But when I went there the day after the theft, the statue of the old bag was sitting to the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. You know, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It will take more than an accident push to move it that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme, the reason, and to why the statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind, we'll move it. The real question, why did they move it? Miss Fry, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the move the golden statue at the night of the crime? Well, at me, I guess. Take that! Blindly presenting. The only one that could move the statue is none other than Luke Atme. Come on now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on your strange delusions. Miss Wright, as basic do you have for your strange delusion? It's very simple. The Windows was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That's indeed very simple, however. Why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Master Mask. To create an alibi by showing you were at the Lordly Tailor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie will be exposed like a cheap film at a drugstore. This is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw? Interesting theory, please enlighten us. Just where this picture does this lies to. Naturally, lie in this photo is the timestamp. And what do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atman went to KB Security and murdered King Bullard. Therefore, it is obvious it will have been possible for him to have been at the Lordly Tailor at this time. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was the statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there only to cover up the paint. Exactly. Look at me had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim, and so in order to create an alibi for that time, he took his picture days before the murder took place. What the? Of course the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Alchemy must have been quite nervous. As never as a long-tailed cat in rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there is there. Had been brought down in a place where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atman had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo. Yeah, it's kind of messy. Miss Atman, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by Lordly Tailor staff. However, the program used to manage the data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Let me take a look. What is the meaning of this? No, he's sipping, guys. God, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. Never. My 11th cup. Jesus, you're still. How you are not in a cardiac arrest? Seriously. I promised to drink no more than 17 during the trial, which means that I'm still good till the last round. However, the defense has a very good point. A good point. So what? We are all about trials on all the infinite points. I think he got his points mixed up with the other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea, however. There's one point that can be denied. Which is? That is only a possibility. Men that are trapped by our chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true. No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. the Mask. Yes? If there's no funny business your action as a Master Mask, there should be no problem. With you telling us your strategy, so let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred herb. I first received a request from Lordly Tailor about 20 days ago. Wait, what? Didn't you say... Yeah, 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and Zavar... You didn't... Wait, didn't you provide it? You provided. He didn't request it. The urn was placed into a box in Svari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. And I had to secure it by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th. That's pretty much all stuff we heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find through hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. I'm sure there are no mistakes this time. Tabari! Tabari! Very well then, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Okay.
Objection!
Mr. Atme, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote his calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read the passage from the calling card Master Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true. But so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been broken to Lordly Taylor. I'm not finding these jokes to be very funny, Mr. Wright. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say, an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got to the urn. You can't be serious. And yet his calling card clearly mentioned the paint pattern. Which means that Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Witness, do you have anything to say yourself? Alright, that it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for victory pose. I agree with that statement. Huh. Huh. It's so sad no one has any conviction these days. Conviction? You say? Yesterday we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being at that That's a good point. No, wait, don't fall for it, Dad. Your Honor, say that Luke Atme was the one who killed Cain Bullard. Then let me ask you this, why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. May you mind my Mary Murder's motive manifest? Nick is getting his second wind. If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Is that right, Detective? Indeed, according to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Oldtimer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, he may be our only chance. Luke Atme had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. It was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendants truly believe he is Master Mask. And that is why Delight thought it fit to kill Cain Bullard. Truly a tragedy. So the victim, Cain Bullard, blackmailed the defendant. This is the blackmail letters found in the defendant's apartment. Handwritten text confirms that Mr. Bullard, who has indeed was indeed the one who had the one who wrote the letter. What? Why are you surprised? What? What? Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your examination. We already actually, like, you know, proved that it was he who wrote the letter. So, if you remember, the blackmail letter has a really specific detail, which is weird, you know. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Atme. Well, if it is just a few, I guess it's alright. When you say that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help just by notice one major contradiction. Major contradiction? Don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're the one talking. At a time like this, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradiction evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. Wait, what? What? Take that! Read this. And fudge? Okay. Take a look at this newspaper clip. It contains a picture of the tear of Amanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this color. I knew it. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. This is a small information that will be revealed very soon. Godo only see red because of the mask he's wearing. Anyway, yeah, details. So he didn't see the difference in color. However, in the blackmail later, a totally different jewel is mentioned. So he's colorblind, basically. I'll take the red diamond you receive at the end of the day. Red? Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Amanon that the mask stole away. Mask. And your point is, Mr. Wright, so you are trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else. That is what you are trying to say, right? That is what you are trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Well, that is... Oh, Maya, Jesus! Maya, leave me alone. Well, that is what you are trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. Okay, confidence. This weekend was actually blackmail. The red diamond. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. The red diamond. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You have been personally involved in every single mask case, and in the last case you recover what was stolen and receive a jewel as your reward. A jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. The red diamond ring. That is the diamond referred to the letter. Which means the Cain Bullard wrote the letter in order to blackmail. Order in court, order! It seems you got too far with your childish plans, Mr. Wright. Cain Bullard blackmail looked at me? Are you for real? Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him. Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Cain Bullard threatened to make Luke Atme identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret, so just what was that identity? Atme killed Cain Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was that identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what this all comes down to, Nick. So Atme was the blackmailer. The identity that Luke Atme wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as a blackmailer. Luke Atme was a blackmailer. Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You say that Cain Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. You say that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that. You have to admit, that does sound a little odd. It's not odd, it's the only thing that makes any sense. Cain Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Ron Delight was also being blackmailed by certain someone. So did you just start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the tear of Emanon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from someone very kind, from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. In which case, that would mean that on the line was actually Master Mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delay steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luca. Shh! Silence. Now I see, it's all becoming clear. Okay. What is it? When you were in grade school, you receive a same report card every year. Careless, with the tendency of jumping to conclusion. Am I wrong? How did you? You say that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Ron the Light. In which case, I will naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes. Ron the Light started receiving plans for his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed the first crime. Good boy, you certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atme know that Ron the Light was Master Mask? Because of... Take that! There it is. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Get into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? These newspaper clipping. There's a picture of you and Ron the Light in his guard uniform. It seemed that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. With the tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured out, Mr. Atme. So when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron the Light.
Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even ace detective.
I can't believe it. He was just an lying black man. What a fool, trying to pass himself as an ace detective. Why you? How dare you expose me like that? Why me? I never blackmail anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why you? What? It's so quick. I can't do it. She went insane. She went insane. Did I say she? Anyway, we'll see if we finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. Please prepare yourself for Mr. Atme. Oh, not you again. Thermometer strikes. The past has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. I gotta go easy with the coffee. You don't get too much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws were quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer, and that he was an orderly tailor the night of the murder. That's right, that's why he's the one who killed Mr. Boo. But there's still one thing you haven't yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can prove that this pitiful excuse of a man was at KB security, then I don't see how verdict can be delivered. No way! Order in court. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the final round. I got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that? That's long enough, Mr. Wright. I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atme was at KB Security and the defense, and we cannot prove it. I cannot prove it. Just as I thought. But if we were hear more of Detective Atme testimony... Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? I won't allow you for more testimony, that's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Luke Atme is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. He faces guilty verdict as Master Mask. No. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. As I've round the lights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order in court. There is another deliberation over this witness. I can't believe this. At this rate, Ronnie's. Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence, and by then it will be too late. Huh? Why? Let me see my objective. Double Jeopardy! Is an actual thing. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double Jeopardy? Should the defendant be tried and found innocent in court, the defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts, and this applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Master Mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Cain Bullard is concerned. No way. The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atme guilty of that crime here means that we will never again be tried as Cain Bullard's murder. Damn it. Dang it. No, there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if your honors proclaim to be innocent. The real killer, Luke Atme, will go free. Well, he'll be still arrested for loss anyway. You have a cross-examining every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objection? And I hereby then and the cross-examination of Luke. I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you... Who say that? Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who's Mars no matter how bad it gets. That voice! No way! Mia! Maya version! Maya edition, sorry. Maya edition. Long time no see, Phoenix. Long time no see, Maya edition. It's the true power of the grain channeling technique. I know that is real Maya by who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey, which is totally dead. And I keep gonna say it until the end of the world. Now let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony is not over yet. What? What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have a cross-examined every statement the witness has made every year today. Yes, that's true, but unfortunately, Your Honor, you are forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Well, now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that the law wins out in the end, after all. I'm an ace detective as well, Master Mask. My verdict will verify that, just as Ron the Light will verify that he is the true murderer. Declare that this declared that with the full force of my ace detective. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we defense assert our right to question them. Is that alright with your prosecutor? He will say yes. Is something the matter, Mr. Godo? Oh, nothing. Oh, sir, lawyer, it looks like you are one step too late. You think such falsehood will do anything to me? Look at me. Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks, so then let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godo, what are you? Very well then, Mr. Look at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendants to be the true murderer. So please give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lord Lee Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vital important job request. I had to know about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph re-dyed. My brilliant deduction was that what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Everything would have left prints if you sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his master mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Tavarri! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. His testimony actually seemed to hold out pretty well. The witness' earlier remarks do not appear to have that hastily prepared. All of these points have been explained and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course, how did you know about emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer. Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Atmy's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec. Just one chance? Just one chance. Huh. Tell me that the party is about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony, so it will seem. What do you mean, so it will seem? Listen, Phoenix! Pointing out contradiction doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17, the last cup. Seems like the time has to come to put an end to this trial. I have to find a further contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Did you guess it? Which means all I can do is to find the contradictory remarks on the present. Remember, you only get one chance. Very well, then, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Come on, come on. Do you guess it? You guess it? Come on, it was easy. It was easy. It's easy. It's easy. Big brain. Anyway, the contradiction is, as I said, Mr. Wright was wearing his master mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. So, since he is the master mask, how the hell he knew that Mr. Delight was wearing it? He didn't tell anybody he was wearing it. Objection! Just asked me about his last remark. You still don't get it, do you, Wright? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you are the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Guru. What? Mr. Atmy, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CO outfits that night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atmy? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Dry was wearing his master mask outfit, is that correct? Indeed, that's what I say, my deduction are absolutely foolproof. More like your deduction proved that you are a fool. I'm sorry, whatever you mean. For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. Well, it's because you're drinking too much coffee. Hydrate. Got it. But exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as a master mask when he went to the scene of the crime. That was, it was just a few hours ago. Like when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right, the defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. I don't know how you scream. You're in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask. So then enlighten us. Because how did you know about that piece of information?
Objection!
Well... Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find it out beforehand. And in these two chances I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Dalai was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out. Only one? One way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Dalai's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Boom, boom, boom. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Dalai never saw his attacker, so there is no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme. It is with that statement that I will turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Dalai saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Dalai. Impossible. This is like his bitch slap. Did he bitch slap Ron? I don't know. It looks like he bitch slapped Ron. Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Cain Bullard and assaulted Ron Dalai. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. An earthquake? I love it. Charging. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, a tragic clown. That's the same lie you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. It was like charging. Full beast. An awfully complicated incident. Cain Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Dalai. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Dalai. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to do that end, he came up with his plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it all seemed we finally found the truth. Excuse me. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Again? Besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't really realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be there? About verdict. I know. You never committed any murder, that's right. I'm so glad you understand that. But I am... really, I am Master Mask. Huh? So thanks to the trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? Huh? What do you say? Double jeopardy. Oh, now that you mention it. I mean, careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defender said, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. The defender can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent? It all seems so. For now. For now? Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty. Yay. Wow. I realize sweating. I think it's just because it's hot. Boy, this is really lucky way to hit. This isn't good after all. You see, the thing is, I am Master Mask after all. You cannot do any more crime with words, because if you get caught, now everyone knows it's you. You did it, Phoenix? Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much of these days. Oh, she doesn't call me on the phone. It's like, she doesn't channel you as much. It's like, what the fuck? You're dead. You're dead, Mia. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. I don't take everything so seriously. She doesn't call me that much. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Korean channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Oh, yeah, Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia! Oh, Mr. Wright! I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No wait. Nothing really. Oh, wait. Ah, come on, just be happy already. Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges, got off the master boat. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Securities to become Master Mask. Did all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desire? She hates criminals more than anything. Come on, think of it. She was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you become Master Mask. Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bow can never be put together. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to what things were? You'll be fine. Nick can prove it. I can? I kinda wish you would check with me first. Mr. Lai, even if a bow is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. Like this stupid urn. I don't know. The sacred urn? Desi was the one who found this. Desire, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. You just need to cut down the expenses, that's all. There you are. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why did you talk to me about that? What was going on? I had no idea you quit KB Security. And I imagine that you were really Master Mask either. Miss Delight, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. Wait, what? So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. I'm very confused, but didn't you say that you hate the criminals? Huh? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. Oh, I see. Okay. Maroni went and declared his crime before he committed them. Like a man. Like a man! It's like, I'm gonna kill someone! Like a man! What? It's like, whatever. I'm sorry. I haven't. Just like a man was so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi. Desire, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yes, I'm really glad to ask you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much, and I forgot what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, Miss Kamaya, congratulations! Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how cool you with another man's wife, your brother Mr. Maya. I'll never forgive you. This is bitch slapping me. So just as the case came to a close, so did my consciousness. Oh, wow, Jesus Christ, Pearl is strong as hell. You can pose. Oh, she is like 8 or 9, and she just bitch slap you, an unconscious 26 years old man, or later, I don't know, his 30s maybe. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. The power glue. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. Thanks to Andrews. Miss Andrews. Adrian. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout. Wait, what? Oh, it's this one. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill. And we're gonna say you goodbye. And have a lovely day. This is the end of the episode. And we're gonna see you again very, very soon. Again. tomorrow, maybe.